Hello, everyone. Are you a reseller or thinking about becoming a reseller? Are you part-time and considering going full-time? Were you working a part-time job and maybe that job doesn't exist anymore? That's why we're here today, folks. We have an excellent skilled reseller that's been doing it for probably 10 to 12 years. He'll explain that to you. And this current climate, how a lot of retail stores are closed, a lot of businesses are closed. More and more people are home. They're sourcing online. They can't go out to retail stores. Resellers are becoming more and more important. That's why we're here, guys. And we'll get started in just 1 minute with our special guest. And most of you already know who he is. And we'll roll into that. I just want to say hello to a few people, and then we'll get this party started. Okay, guys. I know earlier I saw, of course, our guest was here. Sharon's here. Kimmy is here. I miss you, my friend Kimmy. Glenn is here. Who else was here? I think Maggie was here. Amelia is here. Some great people in the chat. Todd, the flippin' hustler, is here, who's been on my show. Lane Short Picker, who's been on my show, is here. Maggie Doodle, who's been on my show, is here. So, guys, we're going to get started now. Again, shameless plug. If you're a reseller or thinking about reselling, I got a lot of great interviews with a lot of great resellers. So there's plenty of information. So watch them at your leisure. If you're listening, whatever, please play my videos. There's a lot to learn. I go back often and just replay things, and I get little nuggets or pro tips, as Chris likes to say. So let's get this party started. We're going to bring on our guest, and we will do that. And why is that not doing that, sir? There we go. Okay. Mr. David Thrifty Dag, why don't you introduce yourself, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, brother? I hope that I'm not splotchy, because you're breaking up every 20 seconds or so. So if I'm splotchy, then I know it's my end. So y'all let me know that. There's really nothing I can do about it. But
yeah, that's Comcast. Like I said, I told you earlier in the pre-show that I'm hardwired even. So I don't know why it's happening, but I guess a lot of people are using the internet, and YouTube has downgraded the stream. And of course, a lot of people are using the internet right now. But again, I am hardwired, and so I don't know why there's an issue. But
it might be me. Everybody's
streaming, guys.
Everybody's on your channel today. That's what it is. You broke the internet.
All right. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to the people that don't know you, and just refresh everybody on what you've been up to. You've kind of taken a social media break. You're back momentarily, or hopefully for good for now, for a while, or maybe little pieces of you. So let's get into your background, where you're from, how you got involved in reselling, the whole 9 yards, and then we'll roll into the show and we'll drop some gems.
Well, I could write a book on all that.
Yes, you could.
Overall, well, everyone that don't know me, my name's David. I used to be on YouTube and a lot of social media platforms as Thrifty Dad. I still have a channel up there, but I don't have any videos. And maybe this will spark me to make some more videos. But I was a full-time reseller. Now I'm a part-time reseller. Ex-military with the Navy, and I have my own tattoo business there for many years. And I worked away from home so much and didn't get to see my daughter once she was born that I wound up retiring from tattooing and just started reselling. It took off. I wound up making more money reselling than I was in the tattoo shops. So I just kept learning. I started with Yankee candles, and we learned everything I could about Yankees, and then turn around. And I think the next thing was salt and pepper shakers. I learned everything I could about salt and pepper shakers, then went to cookie jars, and I went on and on and on until I knew something about almost anything, just to grow my store and to grow my knowledge, and just kept reselling. But it's a lonely life. A lot of people on here to resell full-time know it's a lonely life. So I actually told me and my wife talked about it. And I said, well, I'm going to go get a part-time job somewhere, so I can meet some people and be out, because I live in Ocean City, Maryland. And I think I went to Crocs, and my whole plan with Crocs, I never told you this, Adam, but my whole plans with Crocs, I said, I'm going to get a part-time job here. I'm going to take a picture of every Croc in this store. Then I'm going to list all the Crocs. And if they sell, I'll buy them with my employee discount, and ship them out, and I'll make some money. Crocs didn't want me. They're like, no, they were looking for somebody younger. So on the way home, we seen a little sign in the window doing walk-in interviews for a theater that was just opening up. So I walked in, and they gave me a job as a bartender part-time, but they still wasn't open yet. They were still doing construction on the theater. Well, I just wanted to get out the house. That's all. I didn't care about the money because I was making enough money at home. I didn't care nothing about it. I just wanted to get out the house. So I asked the gentleman there, could I work part of the construction crew, building a theater? I could tote bricks, whatever you need. So he said, yeah. And I went and started working there. And I was working sun up to sundown. I was in my prime. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Just being out the house, but it did affect my reselling because if I was there working, I couldn't be at home listing. Well, little did I know that the people I was working beside was the CEO of the company and the vice presidents of the company. They were there working right beside me, and I didn't know it. And so they wound up it was almost like Adam said, like an undercover boss thing. I didn't know who they were, and I was oblivious to it, but they got to see my character, and I wound up getting promoted to assistant manager before the theater even opened up. Once the theater opened up, I worked there for about a month, and they wound up making me the general manager. So now I'm, the head of the entire business, and my only boss is in Maine. Is with a flagship theater. They have 19 or 20 theaters on the East Coast. So my customer service that I've learned through eBay wound up helping me get the job, as a general manager of the theater. But my reselling took a side seat, a back seat. And I just started getting back into it. And, once I got settled into the job, I started reselling. Now reselling has bumped up so much to where I'm making more money on eBay again than my job. But we're off now because of the virus. And so I got a lot more time here at home. So I'm able to put a lot more effort into my eBay. And I'm here on YouTube because I couldn't do YouTube while I was working at the theater so much. So, now that we're locked into the house, I didn't have nothing better to do. But, I really enjoyed and appreciate that Adam let me get on here and say hi to everybody.
Well, everyone missed David. And most of you that know my channel, how can I put this? I was raised in, somewhat strict religious family. I'm not very religious. I tell people all the time, I live by the golden rule. Treat people how I would like to be treated. Try to be nice. Try to help people. Both my mother and father were school teachers. My sister's a school teacher. Growing up, my father was ill when I was very young. I was taught I have to help family. I have to help take care of my father. I had to go to a local college. My parents valued education. They said, you have to get your education, but you're going to have to go locally. You can't go away to school. And I told the story before. My mother was a school teacher. My father couldn't work. He was very ill. They bought me a brand new car. They said, Adam, we appreciate you so much for helping out with your father. We're going to pay your full tuition, and we're going to buy you a brand new car. And I just had to pay my fees and my transportation costs, et cetera, et cetera. So again, it's all about treating people kindly. That's why I wanted to have David on. He's a great person. And I digressed a little bit. But what I was going to say was my show is basically G-rated. And David had some of his light shows. They got a little PG-13 rated, but they were always a lot of fun.
I'm going to tell you, Adam, I thought about it. I was going to tell you, but I know that, you're monetized or you will be monetized. I hope
I will be. I'm not currently, but
I'm really on my best behavior today. But there is a disclaimer. Having me on your show increases your likelihood of this particular show not being monetized by 110%.
Well, while you're saying that, let me bring something up. And this is a typical from David's show. I'm half lit. Y'all don't type so fast. Slow the damn chat down for me. Yeah. That was my Friday night and Saturday night. Instead of going to the bar or the club, I'd get on YouTube, and just talk. That was my social time, and I'd have the alcohol and just drink. And by the end of the show, it was like, okay, I can't see what's getting typed. I can't type nothing else. I need to end the show. And you know what? We were talking the other day. It was Alma.
the pajama party.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that pajama parties with Alma. My thrifted escape.
Yep, I'm out there to escape. And borderline hoarders just put in there that increases your likelihood of peeing and your pants from laughing. But I was just telling Adam before the show went on, when I did the I was on what was the guy's name that I was on the show with?
Wade Ventures?
Wade. Yeah, Wade Ventures. I did a show with him and I was drinking alcohol that night, like normal, for a Friday, Saturday night. And I drank so much that I had, and the biggest thing I remember about that show was I had to pee so bad, and the show just kept going on and on. And I was like, "Oh my God, I need diapers or something. This ain't gonna work. I'm gonna start doing YouTube with diapers on."
Pro tip: that stuff sells on eBay, right?
Yeah, it sure does. If you do it now, though, you probably get banned for gouging or something.
Oh yeah, right.
They're really going crazy with that gouging stuff.
Now, let's get into a little bit about what the platforms you sell on. You said originally, tell us your story. You had shared with Wade about how you got the reselling bug.
Oh, well, I briefly talked about it earlier, where it actually originally started with my ex-girlfriend before my wife, and she was eBaying, and I didn't even know what eBay was. I never even heard of it. And she talked to me about it and said, "I'm trying to be a power seller." And I said, "Man, I can crush that. I can do that." And she wound up, after I started doing it, we both became power sellers within 30 days. She was so proud. She bought, that's back when they used to ship you a certificate saying you were a power seller. I don't know if you've been doing it that long, but she framed it, put it in her living room and everything. She was proud of that little piece of paper. But I was just selling candles, Yankee candles, everything that you sell. I can't say everything, but everything that I've sold in the past, like Yankee candles, you might have, say, 2,000 candles on there, but there's always a collectibility part of it. Yeah, there's certain things. I seen a candle go for $5,000.
Corner, I have an old Yankee candle in the corner here.
Yeah, the Yankee candles with the black.
I use the oils now because I have really bad allergies. So I use the oils.
Yeah, I mean, so everything.
Like the bamboo wicks, and it kind of just disperses the smell. You don't have the smoke.
Just like Hot Wheel cars. I did that for a while. I used to go to Walmart and buy the cases. And I said, they cannot be open. I have to buy the whole case unopened.
Right. You don't want packages damaged because there's collectors.
Well, I was looking for treasure hunts. Everything. And that's what I was saying. Everything you sell, there is something rare inside of that, a collectible. Just like Barbies, there's a whole bunch of Barbies, but some Barbies are worth a lot more. And you only learn that from doing research, getting online, doing your research. And why does this Barbie, I can sell it for $200, but this Barbie ain't worth $10? They're both Barbies, but why is this one worth more? There's always a treasure hunt in anything that you sell. So I specialize in that now. I don't sell as many hard goods. I'm trying to get back into hard goods, but I had a friend of mine. I was in like I forgot what you call them, a mastermind group. Okay. And, they got me into selling clothes. And I really, because I had no idea about clothes. I said I wouldn't touch clothes with a 10-yard pole, but now I sell clothes.
Kind of how I feel now.
Yeah, but now I sell clothes.
I have. And again, as a new reseller, I didn't know. I went to Goodwill on dollar days. I'd say, "Oh, these jeans look nice," and then I would get small sizes. And now I think it's like, I'll pick up, like I think I was showing you the other day, and I'll pick up a pair of jeans. It's like, Adam, what were you thinking? This would fit like a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
these aren't adult jeans. I mean, they're nice jeans. I paid $1, but they're basically kids jeans.
Yeah, you can learn a lot. I mean, there's a lot of subcategories in the clothing realm. Borderline hoarders, I see your question, that the candle was worth $5,000. What did it smell like? It was actually a lemon meringue pie or something like that.
I think I've had that candle many. Yeah. My sister, who I mentioned on the show, she doesn't talk to me now, but that's another story. She worked the Yankee Candle as part-time for about 10, 12 years as a school teacher. She was, teachers didn't make much money back then. So she would work part-time Yankee Candle, basically full-time managing assistant manager in the summer, and then a couple weeknights and weekends during the school year. So I know a little bit about Yankee Candles. Yeah.
So now I just do clothing. I am planning on getting into. I just listed some hard goods. I think yesterday or the day before, because I know so much about hard goods too. I told my wife once we get off of this lockdown and we're able to go back out yard selling, sourcing, that I need to diversify more and stop going all in on one thing, and put like 40% hard goods, 40% clothing, and then 20% of replenishables, handcrafted items. The platforms that I currently sell on is eBay, Poshmark. I do have a Mercari, but I do not have nothing on there right now, but I do plan on putting some of my stuff on Mercari. And I also sell in Amazon Handmade. And if you do any kind of craft, if you make belts, if you sew, I don't care what you do, if you do any kind of handy dandy stuff, Amazon Handmade is the way to go. It's absolutely free to get on there. The world, you have much more. Amazon has a much further reach than eBay.
Amazon's a 600-pound gorilla.
Yeah. And you feed that monster, it pretty much is Etsy on crack all day long. I mean, because you sell your hard goods. So a lot of people know me. I used to sell the vinyl, the
vinyls, right? We talked about the prior, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The stickers and stuff. I put them on there. My wife made little teeny dresses for LPS dolls. And she put them on there.
Let me interrupt you 1 second. What are LPS dolls?
Oh, LPS are toys. My Little Pet Shop, the little teeny dogs, the cats.
Okay. Were they
the women on it?
When were they from?
You get them now.
I mean, when did they come out? Like recently?
Oh, no, they've been out for 15 years, 20 years.
So they came out in 2000 and they're still available. Okay.
Yeah, they're still available. But
I didn't know.
But we just sell the accessories. Just a little thing that she sews together and put them in a pack and present them properly, and can sell them on Amazon, or eBay. But you get more money for anything on Amazon than you will on eBay.
Typically,
it's a whole different category. I mean, the clientele is just different.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't aware of that at all, and I'm sure probably 90%. Again, I can see most of the people in my chat are all experienced sellers, and I'm assuming, guys, did any of you know about that program before? I hadn't heard of it. I mean, I knew about merch.
Yeah, Kimmy knew about it. I talked about it with Kimmy on one of my old shows about Amazon Handmade. And it's a guy, I'm telling you, and you can still do FBA with it. You can make your
again. I tell people what I know about Amazon can get me in trouble. I know a little bit, but it's dangerous. My understanding, and again, guys, it's not Bible. But currently, most things are not being allowed to be shipped into FBA unless they are essential.
Right now.
I just wanted. I didn't want to. I don't want to challenge it.
Before this,
make sure that people
and after this, you'll be able to do
correct.
It. So, like Hickory Spring does,
make them, ship them into Amazon, and they handle the shipping, the customer service, the whole 9 yards. I just want to make people aware that currently there's kind of like a freeze on non-essential goods. Being sold or shipped into Amazon to be fulfilled by Amazon. That's what FBA means if you're a new seller. There's FBM, fulfilled by merchant, which means just like you would on eBay, you pack it, you ship it, yada, yada, yada. Fulfilled by Amazon as you produce it, you put your information in the Amazon, they give you information, you put a shipping label in, you ship it to them, and they handle it.
And Poshmark just recently started they let you sell some hard goods on there, like home decor. I mean,
I heard that a few months ago they started doing that. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, again, I follow these different reselling groups. Like, I moderate for Casey the Rockstar Flipper. I moderate a lot of different channels. I've really cut back, guys. If you don't see me a lot of chats, I've had some health issues, and I just want to concentrate on getting better and getting back into my eBay business and getting my home in order. I told you guys I want to eventually move down to Delaware, and David and I will be almost neighbors, so we can frequent each other, get together for lunch or whatever. But now Poshmark, my understanding is they've raised their shipping costs. Is that correct?
Yeah, they did, but I mean, post office is raising their shipping also, so they're just in line with that. But you still can't get no better. You could ship 5 pounds for 7 something or whatever it was. You can't beat that. I
ask you, and I ask people all this time, and again, guys, I'm not an expert. I've tried to have people from Pirate Ship come on my channel. They said they're too busy. They don't have enough staff. Do you use Pirate Ship at all when you're shipping?
Exclusively. I don't use nothing but Pirate Ship.
Okay.
I used to use another program.
You said that. You mentioned that on Wage Channel. I was going to ask you about that.
I forgot what it was, but I paid like $30 or $40. And the only benefit really on that was that I was able to put a logo on my labels, and they sent emails to my customers and stuff. But once somebody told me about pirate ship, you automatically get commercial rate plus. I mean, you can't get no cheaper than that at all. So use that.
Me, and again, guys, I tell you, with my health issues, I don't do a lot of volume anymore. I want to wrap it up. I want to get to the point where I have 400 or 500 items in the store, but I'm nowhere near that now. And what happened with me was I was getting eBay's top rated discount. I wasn't getting top rated plus, but I was getting top rated. And I didn't understand it because, I don't have any strikes. I don't have any dings, but I wasn't doing the dollar volume, whatever it is. You have to do like $1,000 a month or whatever it is in sales to get the top rated. And then you have top rated plus is whatever that number is. Plus you have to offer free 30-day returns, which I don't offer. I don't offer free returns, but basically eBay is going to force you to take the return anyway. But yeah, I just say if they do an INAD, typically I just refund the purchase price and refund the shipping and move on. It's the cost of doing business. That reminds me, you and I had discussed that previously about the negativity of some of the sellers and some of the sellers group. Why don't you touch on that, about getting all wound up about things that happen in the business and your spin on that?
Yeah, well, I was, I don't watch a lot of TV or nothing like that. All I do is just, because like I told you in the past, you only get out what you put in. So I try to put in nothing but reselling stuff in my head at all times. So I joined a lot of Facebook groups, and, I'm fine with that. I would just sit there and I would never say nothing. I would just look and, not comment. Then I made a mistake one day of commenting, and then, I got lynched.
Gates.
Yeah. I said, okay, no more internet people. I'm sorry. I won't say nothing else. I'm
gone.
Yeah. Kimmy, on a side note, Kenny, I see my hands up here, and I'm just thinking about Will Ferrell. I don't know what to do with these. Anyways,
inside joke.
Yeah, it's something that she had on her channel because our hands kept going up, and Will Ferrell on Talladega Nights, he's like, what do I do with my hands?
Okay.
Going on. But anyways,
all these David little quirks and Davidism.
Yeah. Well, the people on the internet, on a lot of these Facebook sites, they think everybody's a scammer. That if they open up a return, you must be a scammer. You're out to get me. There's no way that this coffee cup was shattered when they got to you. I put bubble wrap on it before I put it in the manila envelope, and I see this and I'm thinking, man, the quality of service that many people are giving their customers now on eBay, is really hurting the good sellers, because you get burnt a couple times on eBay and you don't know about the community, or you haven't experienced a good seller and you get burnt a couple times, you're scared to go back. I told a story on Facebook to where when I first started doing Amazon FBA, I actually took $5,000 and I went on eBay and bought a bunch of stuff like cassette players, walkie-talkies. I sniped, auctions. I got a bunch of stuff and was just going to ship it over to Amazon FBA, because what you're asking $5 for on eBay, I can get 20 or 30 on Amazon.
Exactly.
So I did that for $5,000. With $5,000, I probably got like 135 packages or something in the mail within a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first time buying. I don't buy from eBay. I just sell on eBay. I buy most of my stuff from Amazon, lightning fast shipping, great customer service. If I got a problem, they'll give me my money back.
Why you had said you got to be on Amazon. So like I said, that handmade goods is a great opportunity for a lot. I know especially a lot of jewelry sellers that I know, or that in my chat. Great opportunity, guys. If you're making custom jewelry or whatever. I don't see Tiffany here. I know Tiffany that's on the auctions with Paul and Lisa and all. Her husband does homemade custom jewelry. Beautiful stuff. Sandy. Beautiful custom made silver pieces.
Yeah, Hickory Spring does some stuff too. But here's the thing. Let me finish this. And
I'm really glad that David had mentioned that to me, and I wanted to make sure that we brought that up during the show.
I got 135 packages from eBay, or 130 something packages. I would guarantee you that 70% of them orders had a problem with it. Stuff was broken. People shipped it incorrectly.
Shoppers.
Or people was getting Amazon returns and selling them on eBay as brand new.
Yep.
And they weren't new, but I'm buying them because they said it was new. Then I get it. And I'm like, this don't work. This is a return. And he has a return sticker on it. You can't listen.
Yeah, they have the sticker on it, right? The original.
Yeah. Yeah, they would have the label on over top of the barcode, and tell me that it's new. And then it comes, well, it was returned because it was broken and you just sold it to me. I had so many problems. I had stuff where I broken. I had some stuff that just never came at all. I had to get into eBay and fight to get my money back. So overall, I had amazingly terrible experience buying from so many sellers on eBay. And all I could think of is, why would anybody buy from eBay with this kind of experience? So I determined I don't want to be that person. I want to give a great experience, go the extra mile, great package. I deliver faster than what it says I should. I do same day shipping, just like Amazon. I try to compete. I do free shipping now. I'm not saying you should do free shipping, but I made the decision to do free shipping. I did do free returns for a week. Then I got a free return and I shut it down. Yeah. Free returns are great. Free returns are great. They're awesome until you get a return, and then it's not great no more.
Let's just shut it down. A DVD VHS combo. Again, I don't ship heavy things. I have to learn how to do it with Pirate Ship. Let's just say for example experiences was $15 to ship it. So you get whacked for the 15 out, you get whacked for the 15 back, you get whacked for what your cost of the product.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a trick that I learned on eBay. I just learned this the other day. Somebody returned a pair of jeans to me. It only cost me $7.55 or something to ship the jeans.
For a flat rate envelope.
But when they returned it, and I had to pay shipping, it was like $10.50 or something. I'm like, why do I got to pay $10.50?
Okay. I thought they would ship them the same type of label that you use at the discounted rate.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I shipped it in a padded flat rate. However, when I made the listing, because I do so many at a time, I just bulk everything under. I just put 2 pounds in a box or whatever. They went off of the weight that I had in shipping, not what I actually shipped.
So they shipped it in a box as opposed to a padded flat rate envelope?
Yeah, because I didn't put that it was being shipped in a flat rate envelope. I didn't think it mattered. I just shipped it flat rate. But when it on the section under the listing, so
you
I learned that
was what?
What?
You said there was some kind of workaround that you learned. What is the workaround?
Oh yeah, well, go into the listing, and where you put the pictures in and your description and everything, when you're creating the listing, when you go down there and you put the weight of the item, put the weight in the shipping method, what you're actually doing it as.
Okay. Sure.
Because if not, they don't care how you shipped it. They're going to go off of that weight that you put in the listing. And that cost me a lot of money over the course of years, not knowing what was happening.
Well, like I told you, occasionally there's scammers out there, but again, I don't have the statistics to back it up. It's just my gut feeling that probably 95% of the people are legitimate. And I got scammed once on a nice pair of jeans, and I shipped it to like Brazil or something. It's like, oh crap! It's like, so I had to eat it. I argued with the guy, I argued with eBay, and finally just said, you know what? All worked up over this, and I thought about what Prof Sale says, the value of your time. It's no use getting all worked up. I refunded a guy, I refunded the shipping, and then I was done with it. I was going to pay $12 to ship it back to me, or $13.
Yeah. Now when I ship overseas, I use the GPS or whatever they call it. Yeah, I don't.
Have you experimented at all with the international rate with Pirate Ship, which you can have that added on? Again, Michelle is like the trivia. She knows all this stuff in her mind. I'll pop it out in a second. There's a name for it, like something. It's international shipping or something.
Yeah, I used to before I did the global.
Remember what the name of that is called?
What are you talking about? First Class International?
With Pirate Ship. There's they have a name for it.
First class international.
Okay. I know you have to request part of the normal package.
I don't do. I used to do my own shipping.
Global shipping program.
Yeah, I used to do my own because up to 4 pounds is first class.
Export rate. Thank you, Chris.
But you don't have a lot of tracking. Now they do have some tracking, but back then, like a lot of countries, like Russia, you only got tracking to UK or Australia. But they didn't have tracking. So I sent like a bunch of stuff over to Russia. The lady claims she never got it. I didn't have tracking because they don't do tracking over there for that.
That's why you don't ship to Russia. I mean, live and learn, right?
I gave the lady her money back, disappointed. And she messaged me on eBay and said, I got your dolls and your money. I called eBay going off, they're like, yeah, well, PayPal her invoice and ask her to pay for it, which I did. I was stupid. I did it, trying to grasp at straws, but she never did. That's when I said, you know what?
That's just true eBay.
Yeah.
And eBay wouldn't honor that.
Wow. Nope.
That's not right.
That people have ran on me with some other sellers. They weren't just new people. They were other sellers who would scam me and sell the item on their site.
A lot of sellers are really
there's some grimy people.
They're not good people. Let's put it that way.
So that's why I want.
But a lot of times, it are the sellers that are scamming you. Like we discussed, maybe you're shipping them out of VCR or something. They are some kind of appliance. They got the broken appliance. You ship them the working appliance, they ship you back and say, oh, it's broken. They ship you back the broken appliance.
But see, there's a way now, and this is one of my secrets. I haven't really.
I was going to ask you, do you use any kind of special marking, or do you fudge and fib and say, I took a video of me packing this and I have a secret marker, like.
None of that matters anyways.
Okay.
I don't care if you record everything and put a big sticker high, none of that matters.
Okay.
It's a tracking number, and if the buyer says this stuff don't work, that's all they need. And they go off your return policy. But what I started doing is so now I won't sell a high dollar item. Let's say that I have a VCR. I won't try to get $300 for that VCR. I would sell that VCR as broken, but show pictures of it working. Because if it's broke and you list it, if it's working, but you sell it as broke, they can't return it because you put it in there that is broke.
But you would probably sell for like a third of the again, I'm guessing.
No, I sell it for just a little under what everybody else is.
Okay.
But I show them that it's working.
It's broken, or you say you assume that it's broken.
Yeah, I just put that, hey, I don't know a lot about this kind of item.
I don't know if this works. I'm selling it as is broken.
But I'll say, but this is what I'm able to get it to do, and I'll take pictures of it playing or something like that. But there's a big market for selling broken stuff on eBay. So if I see something in a yard sale that's broken, I will buy it to sell it broken because there's such a large market. Because what people are doing is buying that broke VCR for $30-$40 from me, and then they're turning around and running con or Amazon or somebody else and doing the switcheroo on somebody else. There's a big market for broken items on eBay.
Yeah, some people are actually legitimate. They buy it and repair it, but there are some people, like you said, they're the con.
Well, a lot of people are buying stuff. I've seen
Jamie Pace. That Jamie typically he's not in my chat. Occasionally he'll pop in. He's incredible. He has like 5,000 items listed or something. He cross posts and he does a lot of electronics. And he gets, I don't know, I can't even imagine how many returns he gets a week. And he sells a lot of that stuff on Amazon. Most of it on Amazon.
Well, there's a lot of people I've seen them. They will buy stuff that you can buy in Walmart, like a Keurig or whatever you call it.
Keurig coffee maker.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. They'll buy the coffee maker from you broke for $20, thinking you just want it for parts. They would go and buy that from Walmart, brand new, put the broken one in the box and go to Walmart and take it back. Then they just got a brand new coffee maker for $20 or $30, $40 that they bought on eBay. So there is a market. Now, I don't agree with what they're doing. It is wrong. Karma's going to get you. But there is a market for selling broken stuff on eBay, to make money. So
I'm sorry. So I think, like I said, I've been doing this for about 3.5 years now, and I belong to a lot of Facebook reselling groups, and I watch a lot of people like David and and Casey and Wade and Rally Roots and all these top sellers. And some things I did pick up is, and I used to watch the liquidation channels because that was my idea back in the day before I had a lot of these health issues, was get involved a little bit in liquidation. And the one thing I noticed was people said stay away from Walmart returns. For whatever reason, Walmart has terrible returns. I guess because they had a very liberal return policy. Now with, again, I'm not going to mention the words, but what's going on, most retail stores won't accept any returns, regardless of what it is. But Walmart had a very liberal return policy. And like you said, they would just put broken stuff back, 2-3 years later and just return it to them. And then people would buy, pallets of returned items and 90% of the stuff's broken.
Yeah, I was doing it everywhere. I went to GameStop and bought one of them $130 headsets for the PlayStation. I got home so excited, and I opened that box up. It was brand new. And when I opened it up, you know what was inside of it? Socks and crowns. That's what it was. Rolled up socks and crowns. And what these people did, and I mean, there was I got the police involved in everything. They gave me another one. They fixed their problems. But what people did is they went and bought this item brand new, took out the good item, and they weighed it beforehand and made the weight again. And then they went to Amazon and bought the little teeny security stickers, the clear stickers.
They even did that?
Right over. Yeah, because you can get them on Amazon for like $5. You get hundreds of them, and sealed it back up and took it back to the store. And it's sealed up. So what are they going to do?
You know what, but who knows?
Yeah, they just put it right back.
They say, "Oh, did a good die young?" It's like, I don't know. Somebody's scared.
So I learned my lesson on that. I mean, there was a newspaper article where somebody bought an iPad off of eBay, and when they got it and opened it up, there was a plastic mold inside, and it was brand new sealed. People bought brand new iPads, sent them back saying, "Oh, I changed my mind." But they done switched it out and resealed it, because you can buy this sealer machine on eBay or Amazon. So you got to when you're dealing with heavy, big, expensive items, you got to be extra careful. So now I'm not looking for $300 or $400 items, to be able to sell. I'm looking for those $30, $40, $50 items that aren't worth you running con on.
And what about again, that's what I love about Dave. He's constantly adapting and changing his business models, and he's always thinking. Did you do any kind of local sales? I mean, obviously I'd be hesitant to do local sales with what's going on. I don't want to be near anybody. I mean, you can do porch pickups and have people leave their money out there. I don't want to get involved in that. But eventually I may do so. I mean, I bought some bikes at an estate sale. Eventually I want to get involved in some, local sales, you pay $20 for a bike, you flip it for $50 or whatever. Yeah. Did you do any kind of local sales, back in the day?
Yeah, I still do that now. Just on a small scale, but I would do auctions, like go in and do, an auction house. I do estate sales.
Auction house as opposed to
auction house. Auction. Then I'll do estate sales. I'll do yard sales. I'll do Facebook Marketplace. I'll even do retail.
You try using those as well? The local buy sell. The local
yeah, my wife more so does that than me. She'll get on Facebook and she'll stalk stuff and then buy it. Then I'll just put it on eBay. Now I did storage units for a long time. That's something that I'm actually planning on getting back into when we get off. I told my wife I want to buy a truck and another trailer. Right now I got a Camaro, but I need a truck to pull a trailer and go do storage units again, because I enjoy them.
And again, I guess we should probably touch that a little bit. When you were in the Virginia, you were kind of sort of the Virginia Beach area. You had a lot of. I remember you saying on Wade's channel that you had like 14 Goodwills within a half an hour's ride.
Yeah, it was a lot.
You're up in Ocean City, Maryland area, and you said there's not nearly the sourcing opportunity. So you were actually thinking of, I guess, about getting a trailer and a truck and taking a family, your daughter, your wife, and then make like a mini vacation out of it and go sourcing.
Well, right now, what me and my wife does is every other Sunday, me and her will drive down to Virginia Beach like at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
No restrictions from Ireland to Virginia at this time?
Yeah, it's about 3.5. Well, we don't go now because of lockdown. Before the lockdown, after lockdown. Okay. Every other Sunday, we go to Tidewater and, to the 7 cities in Virginia, and we'll go sourcing at all them places, and then come back here Sunday night and I would have enough to list for 2 weeks. You know, I get 120, 130 items.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So you know, the deals are out there. You might have to drive and go get it, but they're out there. You know, it's all, how bad do you want it? You know.
Sure. Did you see Gabe's question there, David? Do you also make your own products or do private label? You talked about the vinyl that you did, right?
Yeah, I do make my own products. I don't as far as private label, as far, you know, like buying stuff from China and put my own name on it. I'm not in that game, but I do make my own products, because the most powerful thing you could sell is not the one-offs, you know, the pair of jeans you find here, or the Miss Me's, or the Robert Graham. That's not the most powerful thing. It's the best thing you can sell is something that you can renew, something that you have, you know, of a replenishable source.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if we make something, you know, we got a handful of things that we make, and you can go to Amazon handmade Facebook site and you get some ideas from them, or just go to the handmade section and look at ideas there, stuff that you can make, and we'll make it and have it set up to where people buy it. You know, we can just make another one, you know, and keep them stocked up. I actually made a whole section. You can't see it over here, but over on that part of my office, I got an entire section just for my wife, with the Cricut machines and paint areas and everything for us to do our own handmade stuff. And this side of the office over here is where I do the, you know, the eBay, you know, and stuff like that.
You were saying she's the posh queen, right? She handles
well,
but now
no, I do.
I heard that she's working a lot of hours. She works in a nursing home. Is that correct?
Yeah, she works in a nursing home.
Hours now, right?
Yeah. So I do Poshmark now. She used to handle all of Poshmark, and now I do all the Poshmark and eBay. And she'll do the crafting. You know, she's the hands-on. I don't do none of the crafting. You know, I just handled that listing part of it. Before I forget, again, I'm trying to keep this a little light, because we've all missed David and some Davidisms. Why don't you tell the people about your 99% rules, about when you're sourcing, when you're buying? How does the 99% rule come into play? Oh, I'm not sure if I remember the 99% rule. I do have a rule that I got from 10K. I can't take credit for it on my own. I got it from him and just used it. But if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. So when I go to a store, you know, if you go through items and you grab an item and you're like, oh my God, hell yeah, I found this. And you try to get in the cart and you want to guard the cart so nobody else gets it. You know, you think that somebody's going to come rob you for that pair of jeans you just found. You know, you better not turn your back on them. If it's not a hell yeah, I don't want it. You know, back in the day, I used to grab an item, and my wife is famous for that now. She'll grab something and say, well, I know it's not going to get you 30 or 40. You might only make $5 or $10 off of it, but it's on sale and it's $1 a day. You know, there's not a lot of meat, but it will sell eventually. I don't want that. I only want the stuff that makes me jump when I see it, you know, and that's the kind of stuff that I want. So if it's not a hell yeah, then it's a hell no. Because it takes the same amount of time, like we were talking early. If I list a $300 item, you know, it takes me 5 minutes to list that item. If you list that same item that's $10, it takes you the same 5 minutes. It takes you the same 5 minutes. So instead of taking a whole bunch of 5 minutes to list a bunch of 5 or 10 items, you know, $5 or $10 items, spend more time thrifting or searching for the good items and spend less time
as opposed to buying all these you know, the everyday. Again, I'm having a brain freeze here. What do they call it? The bread and butter items. Bread and butter. If I'm paying $1 for it and I can sell it for $10 or $15, but I got to sit on it for 6 months. No bread and butter. I don't want no bread. I don't want bread or butter. I want and the butter's rotten by then.
I want cake. I don't want bread or butter. I want cake.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I can't do it with your accent. I'm not even going to attempt to do the accent. The 99% rule was I really like shoes and I really like pants. 99% of people wear pants. And if they wear pants, most 99% of people have 2 legs, but maybe the 1% only have 1 leg. Now with the shoes, 99% of people have 2 shoes, 2 legs, 2 feet. 1% only have 1 foot, but I can still sell the 1 shoe.
Yeah.
That was a bad attempt. I had to go there.
I mean, I say so much stuff over the course of years, I just lose track of it. I mean, but shoes is a great thing because everybody's got feet. Most of the people in the world got feet, and as long as they got feet, they're going to be buying shoes. You know, so shoes is a great thing. Pants are a good thing. You know, clothes, you can't really go wrong with clothes because there's not a lot of people walking around naked, you know, so
a lot of people you get arrested.
yeah, you get arrested. So it's by law, you got to have clothes, you know,
Exactly.
so you can always sell clothing. So it's now with clothing, I will tell you something, and I don't want to give too many of my secrets away, but I left women's clothes alone. I don't want to mess with women's clothes. Now, if it's, you know, something really nice, I'll get it. If it's a $30, $40 or higher, I'll buy it.
Right.
But I look for men's clothes because there's a less of a market on eBay for men's clothing, you know. And I was telling you the other day, if you list 100 pair of men's jeans, you capture a larger portion of the market of men's jeans on eBay than if you list 100 pair of women's jeans, because there's so many more women's jeans on eBay. So the smaller the market that you're able to jump into, the less likely that the price gets drove down. Or you know, I just like selling to men, because men don't do a lot of returns. You know, women, my wife will return everything.
This, guys, it's just the fact. I mean, I told you, I got to get out of these women's jeans. I mean, just be more selective. I mean, I must have 75 to 100 pair of women's jeans, and I probably have 50 listed, and I probably have like another 30 or 40 to list. But again, the questions you get and the returns that you get. And I try to be very polite. And again, we'll touch on your customer service. We'll want to get back to that. I definitely want to talk about that. But people will say, well, I normally wear, again, I'm just throwing this out there, American Eagle mid-rise, flare cut jeans. Will these miss me in the same size? How will they fit me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every pair of jeans fits differently. Every pair of jeans, I have the measurements on there, but that doesn't mean they're going to fit you properly. And certain jeans shrink, and certain jeans shrink more than others. Certain jeans shrink. I tell people, please, if you haven't purchased a jean before, please buy something that you've purchased before, because I don't want you to be. I don't want you to be disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to return it and say, well, no, it wasn't really dark blue. It was medium blue, and I'm going to claim an INAD item not as described, and I get shifted. Again, I know that's negative, but that's just been my experience selling women's jeans.
Well, if you buy 10 pair of jeans and they're all size 14, if you measure them, every single one of them will have a different measurement.
I always put the size and the actual measurements. Yep.
Yeah. And the thing is, with, like we were talking the other day, Adam, I don't buy any kind of women's jeans. Like, I do buy American Eagle for women, but I won't go under I think 12 is my rule, of 14. It depends.
In fact, we'll talk offline, but I was doing what you were talking about. And a lot of those ones that I recommend are like 12 and above, size 12 and above.
Yeah.
And I got
because that's the average woman.
6s, 8s, 10s.
That's the average. The average woman in America is a 12 or 14, 18. And
as a newbie seller, we're all new at one time. And again, I don't have a lot of money invested. Like I said, I probably have, maybe have 75 pair of jeans. So that's $75 ish. So, and of those, I could probably take maybe a dozen or 20 of those out of there. So I have to eat $50. I should probably down. I talked, and Megan was on. She's like the jean queen seller. She does super well with jean guys. If you want to sell jeans, again, Dave does a great job. But Megan Mulwiney, who's also one of my interviews, she does a great job with jeans. And she went through my stuff and she said, "Adam, that's Target. Adam, that's Kohl's. Adam, that's Penny. Adam, that's too small." It's like, I didn't know, Megan. I paid $1. They didn't have any stains, rips, or tears. I bought them.
Yeah. I'm real picky with my jeans and stuff. But like I was telling you the other day,
Dave, Norman Frog,
eBay tells you what to buy. I mean, there's a list. I showed it to you the other day. I hope you got to look at it. But on your eBay Seller Hub, on the bottom right-hand side, it says source for inventory or research inventory. When you click onto that, it tells you can click on any category you want, and it would tell you the top 10 look for items on eBay. It will give you the brand, it will give you the size, the inseam. It would tell you what people are looking for. So instead of going out there and buying stuff, hoping somebody's looking for it, eBay says, hey, people are looking for this stuff. Now go find this stuff. So I go out there, and that's how I figured out that, hey, people want size 12, 14, and 18 on the American Eagle, Diesel, Miss Me. True Religion. These are the things that people are looking for. I don't have to do a lot hard research. I mean, they give it all to you right there on your seller hub.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And you can punch in. You can punch in like American Eagle, the women's size 14, flare jeans or something, or straight leg jeans, and it'll tell you like what the sale velocity is. It was supposed to tell prices, but I didn't always get the prices come up for some reason. That's why I wanted to talk to you offline. But again, that research. Why don't you touch a little bit? We still got to go. We're right around 50 minutes or so. What you said about the customer service and how you. And again, I've talked about that before, guys. Not often, but I should talk about it more often. Under promise and over deliver, and how you develop that for your business model. We touched on it briefly earlier, and how you actually took that into your full-time job. Why don't you discuss about the customer service and what you do? And I know you on Wage. I don't know if you still do it. You had the different packages, so you would source for that day. And obviously, when you're getting 100 or some items, you can't list them all one day. But your goal was at that time was to source, get everything listed, pictured, and pre-packaged, and then you would use. And I want to touch on your thermal printers too, because that's a hot topic. I like to discuss thermal printers too. Why don't you touch about your customer service and how you took that into your other business, and how you didn't use anything you learned from the Navy, you learned anything you learned from college, but things that you learned from reselling that you took that into your new job.
Yeah, I just learned. I mean, customer service, just making people happy, and they'll come back to you. You have to give people a good experience. Now, at my job, I took everything I learned from reselling and took it there, and it spread like wildfire. It was like people never heard of customer service before, and that experience that I want to give the customer at my full-time job starts when they walk in the door, from being greeted, talked to, concessions, that experience from the time they walk in to the time they walk out, that is customer service. The entire thing balled into one. But the same thing with eBay. You start customer service as soon as they click on your listing. Is your listing readable? Is it a whole? Because I've seen some listings where it's like signing a house mortgage with all the different things, the rules to buying my stuff, and the good pictures on there. Your customer service starts when they click on your listing, and it ends when they get the item and they're happy with it and they leave you feedback. Everything in between, the messaging, the photos, I have a golden rule that when I take pictures, I take my photos as if I'm not going to write any description for the item. And then when I write my description, like I'm not going to take any photos and I'm trying to sell this just off of how I'm describing it. And when you do that and you put them together, now you got a great listing, great pictures, great description, and if somebody's asking you a question on eBay, this is my opinion, don't lynch me on this, but if they ask you a question, 9 times out of 10, I'll leave a little room there. That means you didn't do your job correctly. Because if they have to ask a question about this item, then that means you didn't cover that answer unless they didn't read. If they didn't read, that's a whole nother scenario, because a lot of people don't like reading. But if they asked you, what's the waist size of these jeans, that means either they didn't read and that's on them, or you didn't put the waist size.
Not a lot, but occasionally it was like, what's the rise? It's in the description. It's 9 inches.
Yeah, it's in the description.
It's in the description. 28 inches.
Even with that though, now I've had that happen where I would put the rise or the inseam in the description, and I'd have to tell people, hey, it's in the description. Then I had to question myself, is it easily found? Do I have it somewhere where they can see it, at the forefront, the inseam, So I cleaned it up and formatted my descriptions where it's very clean and sectioned, real nice and neat.
Again, I'm interrupting one second. Did you want to share one of your listings? Do you want to show us how you have it? Do you want to do that?
Not really.
No?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go on there. I don't put a lot of my store out there. Some people know about it. They can go look at it.
I don't want you to put the store. I figured you could just go to, well, I guess they could source it that way. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but a lot of people that know me, they know my store and they can go on there and look. But, clear pictures, and then when they get the item, don't take it and ball it up and put it inside of a cereal bag and take the cereal bag up. When I get the item, I want it to be presentable. I paid for this item, so I want it to be, a nice item, delivered to me, the presentation. And I have been putting post-it notes lately, with the buyer's name, just saying, hey, Bobby, thanks for your purchase. Have a great day, David. And I'll stick it on the package, inside.
Right. And I know Ty does handwritten cards, and then you were doing pal stickers. You still do your pal stickers on your?
Yeah. I haven't put them on lately.
Punch
a day in the face.
What was it? It's like,
it was punch a day in the face.
I don't know that one, David. I love you, pal, but I don't know about that one.
But I mean, it's all about customer service. The service starts when they click on, and it doesn't end, and until they actually get the item and they're happy. So each one of them sections, it doesn't just end with you putting the listing up there, answering the questions, get it shipped, on time, making the package presentable when they get it. All that comes into your customer service, and I took that to my full-time job that I had. That I have, and it helped me get to where I was at, the general manager of the theater, because I believed in the customer experience.
This is a Davidism. I wanted to put this share with you guys. So you hit the dislike button. It's medically proven on WebMD that you'll get an infection or something.
Yeah, I forgot. That was how I was, but when I said that made people push the dislike button because they wanted to prove me wrong. Yeah.
You really don't like the video, hit it twice.
I'll tell you, without name, because I know some things get demonetized if you say certain things or whatnot. But the current situation that we are in America right now with viruses or whatever that we're going through, I believe actually started with somebody disliking one of my videos. That's where it came. It wasn't Wuhan. It was started on YouTube.
Oh my word. Crazy. Yeah, I reached out to Beth or some David. It's like, I got most of them. And again, we'll come back to one of them was in my opinion, if Jesus himself was a reseller, he would be thrifting in this town.
Yeah.
We're not down, guys. We have I'm going to go in another 5-10 minutes, but we'll leave you with one last Davidism. Last one. For the bottom of my heart, bless your heart.
Yeah. Those are long. That's what I need to start doing when I go thrifting now.
I have to give her sharing that with us.
I need a bracelet that says, what would Jesus do, or something on my arm. So when I'm thrifting, I can say, would Jesus buy this? And really give some thought to that.
Okay, I'm trying to think what we may. Oh, can you just touch on the thermal printers? Again, you don't have to reach or handy. You don't have to grab them, but just talk about.
They're right there.
You have two different ones, right? Let me put you on full screen. You have two different ones that you use, right? And again, guys, I always tell you, do as I say, not as I do. I'm not doing a lot of volume. When I do a lot of volume, and that's my goal, I definitely got to get a thermal printer. I've been researching them. Are both of yours Dymos?
Both of them are Dymo. I use a 4XL and a 450. The 4XL I use for all my shipping labels, to take to the post office. The 450 I use to print out little labels when I pre-package my items. So if I sell a pair of jeans, after I list the jeans, I'll go ahead and put them inside of a poly bag, and I'll highlight the description and copy and paste it in the Dymo thing to print out. And so the description is the same that's on my label. That way you can't ever mix it up. It's the exact same as my description, my title. And I'll put that on there, and I'll put it in a tub and put it in my storage area. So I use both of them.
Like B1 tub, and then you have the full description on the label on the prepackaged.
Yeah, the B1 and B1
color Mylar bags. So if it's purple, it's Poshmark. If it's another color, it's they don't
because it all goes on in the same storage. So because everything I'm selling, I'm cross posting. So whenever it's sold on eBay,
different color, different types of bags, you would know if this was on Poshmark, or this was one, or it was women's or it was men's. You would have one color for women's jeans, one color for men's jeans, and
I did in the past. I did. Now I don't. Everything goes cross posted. Every single thing, 100% of what I'm selling is cross posted, and it's all in tubs. A1, A2, A3, A4. And then I put it in my custom on my eBay. But the biggest thing is when something sells, I know I have to go to the other sites and take it off. You know, you can't never forget that.
And you don't use any cross posting software. You manually do it, right?
No, I just manually do it because I do it. Well, what I'll do is I'll make the what do you call it? The drafts right on my phone. So I'll take the picture with my phone, and then I'll create the drafts already made on the computer, and I'll just drop the pictures in. And then Poshmark, thank God, they let you do, I think, 12 or 15 drafts now. So I'll drop the pictures in drafts on Poshmark, and then when I go to list, you know, it's just copy and paste title. It's all it is.
I think you had mentioned before. I think you told me. I don't think you said in the chat. You would try Macari and you didn't care for it, correct?
No, I've done Macari. I did okay with Macari. I mean, you don't get the volume as you do in Amazon or eBay or Poshmark, but there's money to be made in Macari. But once I start working for
Macari, either is it relatively easy to post?
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's super simple.
I guess on certain things you could cross post it, right?
Yeah, it is super simple. It's just like listing on Poshmark for the most part.
So how do you do like basically just, again, I don't do cross post. You copy and paste things? Is that how you do your cross posting? Like you do your eBay listing and I know certain listings have different requirements. They have like certain amount of characters on eBay, certain amount of characters on Poshmark, certain amount of characters on Macari. I guess you'd have to know that.
I'll have to break a lot of the only thing I have to do differently on Poshmark is I have to break down the title some, because you don't necessarily have to put all them words in like you do eBay. You don't have to do it. Matter of fact, with eBay, you don't have to put all them words in the title. You can just put men's jeans. That's all your title has to be. But if you put in your description, in your category boxes, if you put the category and you put the size and you put everything in there, then it will still show up for search. You know, so you can just have it. And I've seen many of them, men's jeans. That's all it says. You know, as long as you fill out everything below, it will still populate when they go searching for it. Okay.
We're pushing about an hour, guys, and I just want to make sure that there are any questions that we didn't address or I may have missed. I'm sure that Michelle was monitoring the chat, but if I missed any questions, you want to repeat them, we'll try to get David to answer them. And again, guys, if you have any questions for me or David, you can put them in the comment section below after the show uploads to YouTube. Unfortunately, with what's going on, it takes a long time for videos to load on YouTube now. I used to take about an hour. I've had videos that take almost like 16, 18 hours to load for me now. There's just so much volume now on YouTube. So again, if you have any questions for David or myself, you can put them in the comments below. Please ask them if you're in the live chat now. Please ask in the chat, and we'll try to address them for you. You haven't had problems with your Dymo. I heard some people love Dymos. It's like a love-hate relationship. Some people hate Dymos. Have you had issues with your Dymos? No,
I never ever had any issues with the Dymo at all. And you can buy the bootleg labels off of Amazon, so they're not
for the
not
Dymo.
that expensive. Yeah, for the Dymo. I just get them on Amazon. Works great.
Yeah, you know, some people say they like the Rollo. Some people like the Brother. Some people like what's an Arc Scan or something Casey was talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Gabe asked me, do I sell multiple categories? Yes. I sell anything that I can make some money off of. I can go from Yankee candles to a men's shaver to a women's hats to, you know, a yard gnome. If I can get it cheap enough and there's a market for it, then I'll buy it. I did start specializing in certain things just to learn. But after you've been doing it for so long and you learn, then you just open up. I'm game for anything. If I can buy it for $1 and sell it for $2 or $3, I'm going for it.
Well, again, we discussed that you don't really do that anymore, though, right? You do things that you want to make a minimum, you know.
Yeah, there's so many.
Like you said, takes you 5 minutes to list something that you can sell for $10. You're making $5. You sell that other item for $40.
I try to keep my sell. I keep my average sell price. I try to stay around $25 to $30 range.
Do you have on like 3 to 4 times your cost? Do you do any of that or don't really?
No, not as I do it. I mean, overall,
a pair of jeans.
My jeans cost me $7 at Goodwill. So when I get the jeans for $7, I'm wanting to sell them for $34, $35. I want to be at that point or it's really not worth my time.
And you did say that you do free shipping, correct?
Yeah, I do free shipping because
So
I
your
use
cost is about $8 each when you factor in your supplies and your shipping and and the commissions, but a little more than $8. Because remember, guys, that's something you have to factor in too. Again, I know most of you are all experienced sellers, but remember, eBay charges you a commission on that shipping, and you pay PayPal fees on your shipping too. So I just figure it's about 15%. So let's just say for a round number, it's $10 for you to ship something. It's really costing you an additional $1.50-ish. So it's really costing $11.50 to ship that item. So whenever you factor in if you're doing free shipping and you're putting into the cost of the sale price, just remember you're paying roughly 15% over and above the actual cost of your shipping cost.
And Susan, yes, the Dymo does run multiple labels, so you could just use one, but then you would have to switch the label out.
And there are some. There one that does both, has like two different threads on it.
I don't know. You won't buy turbo one with the turbo. You can a small address label and then the slightly bigger one, but you won't print the 4XL, the big shipping labels. You're not going to put anything to ship 2 of them. So.
Now, how long have you had your Dymos? I know you said you're very happy with them, right?
I got them. My mother-in-law, because I was too cheap to ever actually go buy it myself. Now it's the best thing I've ever had. My mother-in-law bought it for me for Christmas the year before last. So it's been 2 years.
Sharon has a turbo and a Zebra. I guess a Dymo turbo and a Zebra. Zebra, a lot of businesses use Zebra printers. So I mean, I know, and I used to work retail for a while there. That's another story. It's one of the reasons I'm home on disability. I got hurt working retail, but we had Zebra printers. We had a lot of problems with them. I don't know why, but I guess maybe because of the sheer volume we did.
Yeah, I mean, they all. You get what you can get. Whatever you can get at a good price. Yeah. You get what you can get.
But again, if you're using, and I like I said, I'm my own worst enemy. I bought a brother laser printer because I thought, okay, well that's cool. That's cheap to use laser printers. The drum, the ink lasts forever. And then I thought, you dummy. And I got a deal when I got it on like Black Friday. I paid like $50 for it, but it wasn't wireless. So I had to take my laptop from wherever I was working, go into the other room, plug it in, and said, this is ridiculous. So then when I had to get a new an HP, and again it's inkjet, that's wireless. I can print from my phone, I can print from my computer. But again, obviously inkjets, the ink costs a lot more, it dries out, it's expensive. I said, okay. Yeah. So then I bought a big, huge brother wireless printer. Laser that I don't even use. And I'm thinking, you dummy. So eventually, when I get my rear end down to Delaware, I'm going to send out my wireless brother printer. I'm going to get a thermal printer.
Yeah. I got one of the brothers thermal. I don't know what you call it with the drum. I got one of them, but I don't ever use it for nothing.
Yeah. Well, I figured, if I get that, I can use that just for generic, black and white printing. If I want to print one thing, and then because like you said, you don't have to mess with the tape. The one thing I guess you got to remember if you're taping anything, you got to be careful with say if you're putting shipping it and you want to protect it from the rain or whatever. It takes a little bit of time for that to dry, right?
Yeah, that's why I'll use the 4XL because I have never had no trouble with rain or anything like that.
4XL within a matter of a minute or two it dries. You don't have any issues with it smearing.
Never had a problem with that.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Chris is here. Make money on eBay. Good to see you, Chris. Frenchie's here. Whoa.
Yeah, I miss Frenchie.
Frenchie, where are you, lady? We're talking about you. We all miss you. All we need is Alma to show up. Then it'll be like old school. Oh, see, all your fans are coming out, David. Miss Frenchie, yeah. Frenchie, you got to come on the show. I know you're doing another show now. You told me to come on my show. I'll call you out.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime.
What's this? Susan has a question. Do you list clothing in description? Let me see if I can read this a little bit better. Frenchie misses you. Let's see. Susan question. Do you list clothing in description with points or sentences?
The point. Well, I think I know what you're talking about. I do have, I describe everything in the description, but underneath that description, like my measurements are bullet pointed out. So it would say waist, 32 inches, rise, 6 inches or whatever.
Bullet points, I guess. That kind of it came to me now.
Yeah. So anything that I want to stand out in that listing, I'll put it in a bullet point because that's what's going to stand out. A lot of people won't read a whole bunch of descriptions. So you got to keep it short, but you got to put the most information in there as possible.
It just put me on the screen. I'm thinking, holy cow, David's been on the screen for like 20 minutes ago. I think it's David's channel. Okay, guys. Any last minute questions? We're a little over an hour here, and I try to keep my guests on about an hour. I know some of you just joined late. Do me a favor and watch the replay if you didn't watch it. We talked about a lot of different things. Again, research is key. Obviously, we talked about that. Customer service is super, super, super key. Again, under promise and over deliver. What else? What else do you want? Words of wisdom? Do you want any? You don't have to be Davidisms. What other tips can you leave with us? Anything else?
My biggest tip of all is to hit that like button. That's the biggest tip. Yeah. If you don't hit the like button, you won't get no sales on eBay for a week.
And the other thing was to do your research on Instagram, right? Follow other resellers on Instagram. We talked about that.
Yeah.
To find out what's hot. That's a great tip. A lot of pro tips are popping here, Chris.
You get out what you put in. You decide what you put in here.
You had another one about something, the effort you put in. It was more detail, but that's the gist of it. Yeah. And again, I tell you guys, and again, I mean, it's probably I shouldn't always bring this up about my health, but David is absolutely right. I found out that you got to trigger that eBay algorithm, the Cassini. If you don't list, if you don't modify your listings, if you don't pull down your listings when they're expiring and then sell similar, if eBay doesn't see activity, you don't see offers, they don't see listings, they don't see changes, new listings, they penalize you. They bury you in the listings. I mean, they bury you as far as the preferences showing on the listings. And that's what killed me. I mean, I still have some saleable stuff. And I'm sure if I start getting on listing on a regular basis, probably a third of what I still have listed will sell. But if I saw, a pair of jeans here, a pair of jeans there. But again, if I'm listing consistently, I'm sure I'll be selling, 2 or 3 pair of jeans a week plus whatever else I'm listing. You got to trigger that algorithm.
Make money on eBay. Said he clicked the like button 3 times for more sales. That's what you got to do. I'm telling you, if you don't hit the like button on this show, you're not gonna have no sales for the rest of the week.
Better not go around. That's something.
I'm telling you, you're gonna. And when you're not making those sales, just remember what I said. The only way to fix it is to come back and find this video and hit the like button, and then your sales will open back up. Can't hurt but trying. I mean, you never know.
Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Any last question we'll get for David, and again, David is kind of slowly getting back into social media. Kimmy, Cocoa Puffs. You got to come on my channel, young lady. We all miss you. You're kind of slowly getting back into social media. We got to see you, Kimmy. All my friends talk about you, and we all miss you. So, and again, I'm going to ask David offline. I don't want to put him on the spot, but maybe we can get David like a regular every couple months. Maybe we can pop into the channel and share some Davidisms and words of wisdom. Because I know he wants to do some YouTube videos, but again, he's got a family, he's got a job, he's got reselling, he's got a lot on his plate. Yeah,
I don't mind. I love being on here. I appreciate you having me on here and giving me the opportunity to be back on here and connect back with some of my old friends. It was really good seeing everybody on there.
Isn't it fun seeing all these people that we haven't seen for a long time, like Frankie and Kimmy's in the chat, and we all see Beth. And guys, you got. I call like Beth like the mother hen, or like Beth has like her channel now, Reseller Rowboat, where she lists people's birthdays, and Beth gets worried about you. She hasn't seen you in the chats for a while. She says, Adam, if you've seen so and so, I haven't seen them. We need to check up on them. Beth's a great person. Beth's in my channel. I will eventually be on Beth's channel. Beth's starting to do some reseller interviews. I will be on her channel. And Alexis is doing. I don't know if you know. Some of you guys might know Alexis. Alexis is doing interviews on her channel, and I don't want to be a hypocrite because I ask people all the time to be on my channel, and the people ask me to be on their channel. It's like, You know, Adam, it's kind of hard to book people on your channel. If people ask you to be on your channel, you should probably be on their channel too. So I'm going to be on Alexis's channel, I believe the 20th. I think it's a Monday. Today's the 15th.
Make sure you post that on your Facebook page. That way I can see it when it's
I
gonna
will.
happen.
I will. And she's doing, I think she's doing 2 interviews on one in a 2-hour show. I don't know how she's going to do it, but anyway, I will be on Alexis KIT, and I'll post it on my Facebook, like David said. I got to talk to her. She has it on her phone to call me, and we're going to discuss that. So I will be on her channel. So again, guys, you know, it's difficult to book guests, and again, this is just personally, I'm reaching out to all of you that follow my channel. If you want to be a guest, if you know people that might want to be a guest, I'm always looking for people to join me. And you know, David was always in the back of my mind to have him come on, and because everybody loves David. It was everybody loves Raymond, but it should be everybody loves David's show. So we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for being here. Remember, please, like David said, smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you can share it on your social media, get more people to watch my videos, I'd appreciate it. Trying to eventually get monetized, so I need the watch hours. I have a playlist with all these different reselling interviews, so if you guys are listening, you don't have to watch it. Just play it in the background. If something is interesting, then you can just pop over and you can watch the video and or replay it, whatever, and I would appreciate it. And again, I want to thank David for being here, guys. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.